Bo, Keir Starmer's downfall. His time's up, mate. He's done. I think genuinely. We've been saying this. Well, we haven't been saying this for a while. People have been saying it for a while. But the dominoes are beginning to fall. We did a piece actually. I think it might have been a week or two ago here on the State of Politics, your favorite politics channel. And yeah, we kind of discussed it then. And actually, in that, it was a big report. I think it was The Guardian, if I remember rightly. And it was like, the plot to take down Keir Starmer. And it was quite interesting. And one of the names that popped up was Andy Burnham. And we said at the time, not sure that that's likely to happen, to be honest. There's a lot more buzz. There's a hell of a lot more buzz. So Burnham's come out and said that Labour MPs are privately urging him to challenge Starmer. That was today. So there's a lot to go through here. There's a lot of puzzle pieces that are moving that indicate everything around Keir Starmer that's propping him up is falling apart, and Labour as an institution is moving to remove him. So as this article says, Andy Burnham has said that MPs are privately urging him to challenge Prime Minister Keir Starmer for the Labour leadership in comments likely to fuel speculation about a possible return to Westminster. So the Manchester mayor accused Downing Street of creating a climate of fear and said wholesale change was required to see off an existential threat to the party. That is just objectively true. Labour is done after this. They will not come back. They are done. And he knows it. And Labour, as a party, they know it. They know that Keir Starmer's screwed the party to oblivion. So in an interview with The Telegraph, Burnham said MPs have contacted him throughout the summer to urge him to run for the top job. However, he said he told the MPs that it is more a decision for them than it is for him. So on Thursday, he declined to explicitly say whether he would launch a leadership bid if he gained enough backing from MPs, telling BBC Radio Manchester that he was not in the business of answering hypotheticals. He said, quote, "I've no intention of just abandoning what we're trying to build here, but I gave an honest answer, and sometimes it feels to me that the Westminster world can't deal with his answers." Burnham added that he was completely committed to his job as mayor and dismissed suggestions that his interventions were a disservice to Labour. And that's because we've got comments from Keir Starmer, now hitting out Andy Burnham. So there's now this sort of infighting, it seems. And they're seemingly taking it somewhat seriously, I guess, to the degree that he would reply to it. So just a quick overview of this. Andy Burnham says Labour MPs want him to have Starmer. Starmer hits back at Burnham's personal ambitions. PM insists that he will lead Labour into the next general election. We'll see. Labour peer tells Sky News she would like Burnham to pipe down and explained, could Burnham seriously challenge Starmer, blah, 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 blah. So there's all of that. One last thing, because I want to build this puzzle for you. So, okay. Starmer's head of communications, Steph Driver, quits. When was that? Oh, today. See all these things happening. This follows on the director of political strategy exiting a week ago. And this person's big time, right? So Steph Driver, she's one of the most trusted aides. Was at Starmer's side for 5 years as communications chief when he was opposition leader, before becoming deputy director and then director of communications at Downing Street. That's big. And that's following Paul Ovenden, who left as well. This is big. You're seeing a lot of dominoes begin to fall. So I know I've spoken a lot. I do apologize, but I wanted to build this image first just to see what you thought.
Yeah, so head of communications at number 10 is that's what Alistair Campbell used to do. That's a really, really important role. It's the conduit between the actual hub of power in number 10, the Prime Minister and his inner entourage, and the media, right? So that's absolutely pivotal. Again, it's what Alistair Campbell did. One of the things he did. So to have them just suddenly just quit, yeah, that's like having one of the legs of your stool cut out from under you. Yeah, that is really big. Yeah. no denying it. The thing about Burnham, though, is it's all well and good, and it really is well and good from my point of view, that the Labour Party is sort of imploding or eating themselves or whatever, and that lots of even just backbenchers want Burnham, are prepared to back Burnham, and you can the obvious backlash from Starmer loyalists or people it's just in their the interest of their political career to stick with Starmer. They've tied themselves to Starmer's mast. But if Andy Burnham isn't an MP, it doesn't cover it. That's the big hurdle. He has to become an MP first. That's without that. I mean, it's like talking about. Often people talk about Russia and war with NATO and don't mention nukes. It's like you're not being serious, or you're not actually looking at the real reality of it. Like, there are nukes. It's the same with the Burnham thing. He's not an MP. Like, if you don't address that, if you don't talk about that, like his route to becoming an MP, like a serious, realistic, or likely scenario where Burnham is now a member of the House of Commons, then what are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're not talking about anything. So for me, it's that. It's like, yeah, it's great. A bunch of the Parliamentary Labour Party would be prepared to back Burnham against Starmer. Brilliant. But how are you getting Burnham into Parliament, though? So do we know that? Have we got anything on that? Is there more on that?
Do you not think that that's what he was hinting at when he said, quote, it's more a decision for them than it is for me? Do you not think that's what he's hinting at when he says that?
Quite possibly. That's an interesting quote, because that's sort of two things about that. One, it kind of suggests to me, it might not be what he meant, but it sort of implies to me that he's 100% up for it. If they get all their ducks in a row and tee it up for him, he'll be 100%. Like, it's a no-brainer in his mind. Like, it's not even a question for me. Of course I'll do it. That's sort of what that implies. Whether that's what he really meant, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, the other thing is what you said, what we were just talking about, that they need to do all sorts of movements and machinations.
Well, they need someone to step down, wouldn't they, in a constituency that he can, push himself into, basically. So that's what that was my thinking.
Right. Are you saying
that? It's more a decision for them than it is for me. Like, they know, and he knows that he has to be an MP. So it's like, well, which one of you is going to step down, going to forfeit your seat then?
That's very cynical. Sorry, not of you, of them. That's very cynical of. I'm not sure if I'm even aware when that's been done before, that someone in a safe Labour seat, it would have to be a really safe Labour seat, I imagine, will just 100% fall on their sword, just quit, forcing obviously a by-election, and then the party, against Keir Starmer's will, select him. Maybe it's a local. Maybe that's a local branch. I'm not sure how it works in the Labour Party. Maybe it's just the local infrastructure gets to make that decision. That's all the ducks are in a row for that to pick Burnham. Yeah. And then if it's a safe enough seat, it's a given that he wins. And now he's an MP. Okay. I mean, that's not that crazy. I still think that's kind of a long shot, a bit of a pipe dream, weird thing, but it could happen. That could happen.
I guess got to look at it from a perspective of, with Keir Starmer's current leadership, and this is how I think Labour would be looking at it right now, is with Keir Starmer's current leadership and the decisions that they're making, is any Labour seat now safe?
Good question. I mean, there are some. When you look at the numbers, there's some places that will always vote Labour. There's some places that look like they will always vote Tory. Like, they're super safe. Like a majority of like 26,000 or whatever.
We're not going to be championing zero seats then.
Sorry?
Outrageous. We're not going to be championing 0 seats then. Outrageous. Come on.
Yeah. No, like for the Tories anyway, a genuine 0 seats that's never going to happen. Well, not never, but not very likely in any time soon. Yeah, there are some safe Labour seats that are super safe, where even half or 2/3 of the Labour electorate in that constituency don't vote, the Labour candidate will still win, right? There are some places that are super red, incredibly, but there are some. But you know, I wonder if that will happen. It's such a cynical move. I've not heard of that ever happening before. Maybe it has, like back in the 19th century or something, or in the early 20th century, where there's a big beast, a big political beast who wasn't in Parliament, and they did that with a safe seat just to get them in again. Probably has happened actually, but I'm certainly not post World War II. I mean, I can't remember. I don't know of an example when that happened, but I mean, who knows? They would have to be. That does speak of something approaching desperation.
But I think they are desperate
in the Labour Party. It's a desperate gambit, isn't it?
But I think they are desperate. That's the point. Like, I think they're really desperate. You know, I think that they, like, again, I mean, the mayor himself, Andy Burnham, said, you know, that wholesale change was required to see off an existential threat to the party. I think that they are aware that I mean, look, they haven't had power for 14 odd years. They've now got power and they've screwed it. That's it. They've done it. They've tried to speed run the project, and everyone, you know, a great analogy is like elasticity, an elastic band. You know, the harder you push, the snapback becomes insane. And they have pushed too much too soon. They've tried to speed run the globalist Blairite project. And my God, the snapback is happening in real time. You're seeing it, right? Like that, you know, the million people at Tommy's march, for instance, right? Or whatever you want to call it, however many it was. That's huge. And that alone is an existential threat to Labour. You know, they're seeing that. They're seeing reform. I think they know that they're screwed. I think they are desperate.
Well, let's hope so. I hope they absolutely eat themselves to bits